Hey, we're live. Look at that. Works like a
Lizzie Bone,
charm. Hello. Happy Thursday, cousin.
and a happy Thursday to you.
It is always good to see you during these, since we don't get to see each other when we record anymore. This has been awesome.
Yeah,
All right.
I want a mic that gives people a sense that I'm on
We
mic.
can get you an arm, man. We can get you. Chris would be happy. He likes the arm setup. He specifically was like, I like this thing when he came over to figure out what was wrong with the echoiness of my microphone recently. Anyway, we have a question. Do you want
We
to
do.
take us away?
Our question this week is titled Not Following the Dress Code. Hello, Lizzie and Dan. I really appreciated you mentioning how useful etiquette can be for those of us with ASD. I first encountered both of you two and the study of etiquette in general on the Dinner Party download.
Hey.
Reading Emily Post Etiquette and
Hi,
listening to the
Amanda.
podcast are usually my recommendations to friends or students who struggle with social situations, as having sample scripts or understanding the rules of a given social situation before entering it can be a huge help. My question pertains to situations where the other people involved do not know or follow the rules, and
Mm.
following the etiquette makes you the odd person out rather than bringing you into the group. For example, I recently attended a rehearsal dinner with a dressy casual dress code. I wore a blazer, Oxford button down, and slacks. When I arrived, I was the only one wearing a jacket, while most of the other male guests were wearing polo shirts and jeans. My issue is not that they were not wearing the correct dress code, but that I got odd looks and several comments about how dressed up I was. The only thing I could think to say was, this is dressy casual, like the dress code, but I didn't want to come across as shaming them for not adhering to the dress code. Have either of you been in a similar situation? And how would you have handled this? Thank you for all you do. S.
Oh, S, thank you so much for the question. And a big hello to Amanda, who has joined us on live. Dan, I love this question because I think the outfit that was presented to us was fabulous, like a blazer and a button down and a pair of slacks. Like that's nice looking. I think that's a good dressy casual. And I do think you hit the nail on the head with that. I find other people comment when you're even if it's unintentionally dressed up more than the rest of the group because they might feel a little underdressed or maybe even if I could be so presumptuous, a little envious of how good you look in this situation. I think they don't realize that it can make someone feel awkward and on the outside. So big announcement to guests at parties: don't comment on someone else's attire in terms of how it fits with the event, unless you're commenting positively on how well they chose. Like if you're at a costume party and someone nailed their costume or the theme, oh my gosh, you got this theme just so right on is great. But oh wow, you're really dressed up. That doesn't actually come across as a compliment. It comes across as commentary that doesn't always make someone feel included. So I don't think these people I see their etiquette infraction being more in making the comment on your attire than on how they chose to interpret dressy casual. I do think dressy casual for some people could mean a polo shirt and a pair of khakis. Not so much in my vision of it personally, but I think that there are lots of people for whom that could be true. I think if you were feeling at all uncomfortable in your outfit, which it doesn't sound like you were, but if someone else hearing this was like, "Oh, what would I do if I did feel a little uncomfortable?" You were in a really good position to remove that jacket and kind of be dressed one notch down from what you walked in wearing. So I would say that's one of the things I love, especially about men's attire. Hey, Terry. Sorry, I can't help myself, Dan. Anytime someone joins, I love getting to say hi to them. I know it interrupts the conversation, but I love it. Um, but I think that's something to consider is that men's attire does lends itself really well to being able to remove that tie, remove that jacket, unbutton that collar one the way Dan's got his done right now, roll up the sleeves a little bit and present a more relaxed look. So those are some options, but I I don't think they were in the right to make the comment, and I think that the comment coming back from you should be in the in the positive, in the polite as much as possible. So I might say something like, oh, this is what I thought dressy casual was. And that way it's about you, right? It's not about them, it's about your interpretation of dressy casual. Anyway, Dan, what about you? What are your thoughts on this one?
That you just delivered my favorite sample script.
Oh, okay.
This
Sorry.
is my dressy casual. This is my dressy casual. The confidence of this is how I interpret that. This is how I present. This is what makes me feel good.
Yeah,
No expectation on you, but this is my expectation of myself in relation to that. And like you, I was also thinking very practically. I would much rather find myself if I'm the meter's toggling this way or that, I'd rather be a little over prepared, a little overdressed. Although I love the awareness that that can work against you, or that isn't always going to draw you into a group.
yep,
So I like that social awareness. But I'd much rather be making the adjustments you're talking about than trying to
yeah.
materialize a jacket if I show up and no one else has one.
Hmm.
The other option, just very practically, that I would offer here is a way to approach the pants. That
Oh,
suit pants, trousers, slacks, maybe more office setting. I'm thinking maybe more new term that we're playing with or have heard recently, more often smart business casual or smart casual.
we talked
I'm
about that
thinking
recently.
more of the slacks, something with pleats or maybe a pressed front crease, whereas
Hmm.
khakis can be dressed up with a nice button down and a jacket or even corduroys, but dressed down more easily if you take the jacket off and roll up the sleeves.
I like
So
it.
something to think about there is that there might be a pant marker that's between the slacks and khakis that gets you into the smart casual or the smart casual that you want, but maybe could also play in that dressy casual world just a little
Yeah,
bit. So that just very practical thinking about it
yeah.
from that perspective.
Dan, can I add one more thing?
Yes, please.
Never anything wrong with being the best dressed person at the party. Like I know that people were making comments that might have not made our question asker S feel that comfortable, but I also think, um who cares? You were there looking really sharp and it was noticeable. And I think that is a good thing, even if someone said it in a way that might have made you feel like a little bit of an outsider. And I give myself the same advice when I show up in a dress and everyone else is in like pants and sweaters.
Yeah. And I even think there's a little bit of room here to acknowledge the effort of a polo shirt. For some people, just getting a collar on the
Yes.
shirt
Yeah.
is the notch up. That is
Yep.
making the effort. And not all jeans are created equal. The jeans that I wear up on that ladder that we were talking about before, Lizzie, look different than the jeans I would wear to a dressy casual affair. So
Yeah.
I also think there's room to acknowledge dressy casual might have been the mark that people were hitting at that party for that group. And just recognizing that as someone who's attending, I think also shows some real social awareness and really appreciate S for the question, for the investigation of that. Even though there's no real problem here, I think
Yeah.
it's a fun thing to look at and think about because it does feel good to feel like you hit it and fit in and it's all working for you.
S, thank you so much for the question. Amanda and Terry, thank you so much for joining us for this question. And we certainly hope our answer helps. Bye,
See you next
everybody.
time.
Adios.